Hello everybody and welcome back to Crypto Time. So I've spent the majority of my morning today working on the quality of my mic and the quality of my audio. So please let me know in the comments what you guys think about the current audio quality. If I maybe need to tweak a couple more things, if it's perfect the way it is, please go ahead and let me know. Other than that, I had a whole video planned out for today. I had the thumbnail made, I had everything ready to go, and then I stumbled across this video on Twitter. And it really got me thinking and comparing what the general sentiment was for Amazon in 1999 coming from the major media outlets and mostly the general public about what they saw of this tech revolution, what they thought about Amazon. And you can just totally see the similarities between what's happening right now with cryptocurrency and what was happening back then with this tech revolution and Amazon specifically. So I think this video is really going to help a lot of people out that are maybe demotivated right now, because I know Consensus 2018 didn't really turn out and give us the results that we were hoping for. And I know that a lot of people are kind of just feeling beat down by the market right now, and that's fine. You know, things like that happen. We all go through those phases. But I really think that this video will be beneficial to a lot of you who are feeling that way, and I'm going to commentate over it, and we're going to talk about a couple things together. But this video is basically about the general sentiment and the general outlook towards Amazon and the tech revolution in 1999. So let's get right into this video.
His company, Amazon.com, Earth's biggest bookstore. You can't drop by, not in person.
And this was in 1999 when Amazon was just selling books.
Amazon only exists on the computer screen, but Bezos does have an office, so we wangled an invitation.
And where's Amazon's headquarters? The public relations people told us to come to 1516 2nd Avenue between Pike and Pine in Seattle. But when we passed the pawn shop and the porno parlor, the wig store, and the down-market teriyaki joint, we didn't see anything that looked vaguely...
That doesn't sound like a bad strip to me. A lot of variety.
Just a heroin needle exchange and an old building called Columbia. But it had the number 1516, so we walked inside. And there it was, the logo known to every web shopper in the world.
Upstairs, it doesn't look very high-tech either. More like a college dorm than a corporate headquarters. And then there's the boss. You generally hear him before you see him.
I'm going to warn you guys, if you've never heard Jeff Bezos' laugh before, you're in for a treat.
It's the ear-piercing laugh of billionaire Jeff Bezos.
Now, I've heard a lot about your desk. It's a door with 4x4s.
Come on.
What?
I mean, you can afford a better desk than that.
It's a symbol of spending money on things that matter to customers and not spending money on things that don't.
And you don't need...
I'm going to try not to pause this video as much as possible so we can get through it. But you're going to see a lot throughout this interview, we'll call it. It's a hit piece. But throughout this interview, the interviewer, I think his name's Bob Simmons or something like that, Bob Simons, he really... especially how we see in terms of cryptocurrency, they don't really ever touch on the technology aspect. It's really about the money, about the dollars, about the movement of money, and he really kind of degrades Jeff Bezos here a lot for the choices he makes in terms of not having the most luxury things and not buying the the Lambos and all that kind of stuff. So just to warn you that you guys don't get kind of pissed off by that, it is kind of like definitely kind of like a hit piece.
Clean carpets.
What are
These things on the floor?
well, these are sticky balls.
Yeah, obviously they work. Yeah. Yeah, that's great. That's very impressive. Remember, this man is a titan of our time, a giant. What kind of kid were you?
Well, I was a good student. I always worked really hard. I was nerdy.
You were nerdy.
I was nerdy. That hasn't changed, by the way.
Did you realize it back then?
My watch updates itself from the atomic clock 36 times a day, if that gives you any indication.
Really?
I'm afraid so.
But you did really well, huh?
In school?
Yeah.
I was always a good student.
Bezos went to a Montessori school when he was 3. By 3rd grade, teachers knew he was gifted. A year later, he started playing with computers. In high school, he was valedictorian of his graduating class. Socially?
Socially, I was a little awkward, I think would be one way to put it.
Blind dates?
Not until, I didn't really date much until like my last year of college.
Which was where?
Which was at Princeton. Actually, I set up sort of a formal plan to date. I had all my friends set me up on blind dates. None of them worked out very well.
Maybe it was his intensity, or maybe it was the way he talks. Listen to the way he describes his company's business plan.
We believe that this is a critical category formation time.
Bezos uses the same kind of Wall Street wonk talk when he talks or thinks about almost anything, including what he wants out of life.
The way I made the decision to leave Wall Street and do this was, it'll sound geeky to you, but it was a regret minimization framework. So this is how I actually made the decision.
If I understand it, if I can translate that into English I can deal with, does that mean I want to live my life so that in a few decades from now I'm not going to regret it?
That's exactly right. I want to have lived my life in such a way that when I'm 80 years old, I've minimized the number of regrets that I have. And I think actually a lot of people do that. I think they, even if they don't, call it something as dorky as regret minimization framework, they behave that way anyway. They think that way.
But for you, it was not carpe diem. It was not wine, women, and song.
No. I don't go in for carpe diem. I go in for regret minimization framework. Absolutely.
When Bezos left that Wall Street job in 1994, he followed that old American edict, "Go west, young man." He and his wife didn't know where they were going. In fact, the movers packed their things and were already on the road when Bezos phoned them to say he had decided.
This is when it starts getting a little bit condescending, especially when he starts talking about like his car but Jeff Bezos gives like really good answers. He gives really good answers, and I know I keep stopping. I keep saying I'm not gonna stop it, but this is the last time I stop it. I promise.
On Seattle, his other big decision. Books.
I'll also link this video in the description if you guys want to watch it like without me talking about it.
The company took off like a rocket.
Did you read the Times this morning, New York Times?
Yeah, I saw the Times this morning.
At one point on Friday, Amazon.com's total stock market value surged past $30 billion, making it worth more than a major industrial company like Texaco. That didn't blow your mind when you read it?
Well, I think if you're asking for sort of an emotional...
Okay, like I said, I keep saying, but just do you hear the way, like the condescending way he talks? Can you believe that? Is that really true? Like how people talk about, can you really trade a digital asset? Are you really going to invest in something that's not real? Like you can totally hear just the same exact mindsets being put into place here, like they were in 1999 towards the tech revolution, and they are now towards cryptocurrency. It's literally just history repeating itself. But anyways, I'll let it keep going.
I think it's very humbling, and it creates a sense of responsibility.
According to my calculations, you yourself are worth somewhere in the vicinity of $9 or $10 billion today. I only say that because I've got a follow-up question.
Okay.
What's with the Honda?
This is a perfectly good car.
What a good answer.
July of 1995, from this modest ranch house outside Seattle, Bezos sold his first book. Today, he has 5 huge warehouses in the United States and Europe, packed not only with books, but with CDs and movies. Last year, Amazon sold more than $600 million worth of merchandise over the internet.
Hey, PK, local financial, I think that's you. C93 is coming back.
And the stock? If you'd bought $1,000 worth of Amazon stock in 1997, it would be worth between $30,000 and $60,000 today. Bruce Smith is an analyst for Jefferies & Company in New York.
I mean, those are gains, but like...
Or is it gambling?
Right now, with
Not
the
crypto
frenzy
gains.
we've had, to me, it feels much more like gambling.
Because it's crazy.
Well, I don't find it rational, to be honest with you.
It went up almost 1,000% last year. When have you seen anything comparable?
Nothing.
Bitcoin.
The internet is real. Real money is being spent. It's not going to stop. But what you could have is a decline in these stocks of 50, 75%.
But investors keep flooding in. Why? Amazon snagged almost 2 million new customers at the end of last year. And like other internet companies, it's growing much faster than those old blue chips. Example, internet giant Yahoo is worth more on paper than the total value of Kmart, Hilton Hotels, and Delta Airlines combined. call it the revenge of the nerds, the computer nerds.
And the fastest moving titles are over here.
Well, here's Stephen King. Here's Daniel Steele. Sexual McCarthyism.
There you go.
Title of the day.
There's no dress code and no hair color code in a place the customer will never see. The Amazon warehouse.
Of course, they try to make them look like they're not doing what they're supposed to do.
Japan. California. Customers generally get their books very quickly, but
You can't do this, you know, you can't.
You can't touch the book. You can't hear the binding creak.
Yeah.
You can't smell the paper.
And it's a great smell.
And it is. And that's why it's a very different experience.
with his computers, Bezos used to sell a lot of computer books to computer nerds. These days, the Amazon goes everywhere.
In the last hour, the best-selling book at Amazon.com has been The Greatest Generation by Tom Brokaw.
You think we're going to put that on television?
I don't know. It'll be a test of your credibility.
A while ago, I bought a few books from Amazon. This time, after I logged on, the computer greeted me back, welcoming me by name.
Is this you?
That's me.
you.
That's me.
Okay.
The computer also remembered my past orders, and after comparing me with other customers who'd bought the same books, it calculated which new books I might like to buy.
The Untouchable, The Comfort of Strangers, Death in Summer, Breakfast on Pluto, I Married a Communist.
That's awfully good. I mean, frankly, that's very good because I've already bought 2 of those books in
It's like the early days of like data mining and algorithm use for like returning customers, so I'm sure they're like blown away by this.
Bought many of the others.
And using the same kind of computer wizardry, Amazon also had some
Computer
ideas about
wizardry.
what kind of music I might like to buy.
Elvis Costello, Bob Dylan, Van Morrison. And of course, you can listen to these. So you can listen to samples.
Now, every time I use your website, you learn more about me.
Yes.
One of your employees has said that you collect half a gigabyte, whatever that is, of information on your customers every day.
Half a gigabyte.
150 floppy disks.
Oh my god. Floppy disk.
That's the data
Jeez.
that allows us to predict or try
500 megabytes of data.
What books
Oh
and
boy.
videos and music that you would like that you haven't discovered yet.
All of that data, information about the likes and dislikes of millions of customers, is stored here on well-guarded, ultra-secret, dust-free, and very expensive computers. Bezos refuses to rule out selling the valuable information to other companies in the future, but he doesn't think his customers are concerned about the issue. And Wall Street isn't concerned that Amazon has never made a profit, not a dime. In fact, it lost $125 million last year. The company says it's investing for the future. Skeptics say it would have to sell every book being sold in the world today to justify its stock price.
I think my generation grew up with Sears.
And Amazon is worth 20% more than Sears is worth in market capitalization.
How do you view that phenomenon that Amazon today is worth more than Sears?
Okay.
Investors are focused on the future.
All right, I have to pause. I have to pause and show you guys this. Number one, I'm gonna show you guys this right here. This is Sears going to be declaring for bankruptcy in 2018, supposedly. And here's the reason why they're gonna be doing that, because this is the 5-year chart for Sears. It's so funny how fast things change, but how long it takes for things to be accepted, society-wise, right? So, just showing you. We could check Amazon's if you guys want, right? This is $3 to Sears, it was crazy that Amazon was anywhere near Sears. Now let's just take a look. You know, why not? So, you know, I mean, wait, yeah, okay. 5-year chart for Amazon. Back to the video.
Growth potential that Sears doesn't.
A couple of geeks who sketched out some software that could destroy Sears Roebuck.
That's the beauty of technology and the microprocessor. We've never seen anything like it.
But history has seen revolutions before, one thing supplanting another. Could Amazon and its tributaries be flowing towards the shopping mall and eventually drown it out?
If you were running Walmart today, would you feel threatened by Amazon?
Absolutely.
Would you decide to go after them?
Absolutely.
As a matter of fact, they already are. Walmart is suing Amazon for hiring away some of its top executives. As for Barnes & Noble, its stock is worth much less than Amazon's, but in a down and dirty negative ad campaign, Barnes & Noble is reminding readers it has many more books to offer than Amazon.
It's getting really nasty out there, it seems to me. The online bookstore, the Barnes & Noble bookstore, is so big it makes Amazon
These fools read a newspaper.
tiny. Seems to me that this is almost a declaration of war.
Well, it's not just Barnes & Noble, but one of the
Walmart
things...
is suing you?
That's right. And
You're surrounded by enemies. People want to get you. Establishment is big and powerful. Do you ever get scared?
well, I tell people around here to wake up petrified and afraid every morning.
Do you?
I do.
It is not uncommon for people who have achieved the kind of startling success you have in such a short period of time develop a pretty strong fear about losing it all. Are you afraid of that?
I know we can lose it all. It's not a fear. It's a fact.
So, I'm sure you guys can draw the similarities between that and how that feels compared to what cryptocurrency is experiencing right now. Like I said, change happens rather slow, and so does the adoption, but the technology moves very quickly. So, hope that helped you guys a little bit. When I saw this morning, it definitely motivated me and definitely gave me a very promising outlook on cryptocurrency and the future of cryptocurrency. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, let me know what you think of the audio. I'll have a regular style upload tomorrow, and I should have uploads all throughout this weekend and going into next week. So I'm really excited for the content coming. And again, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay strong, everybody. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, everybody, see you.